Hey, this is Dave Lamont here with Full Send Hunting. Just want to make a quick video, tech video for the week. We're going to start doing more of these as we get going. We're going to have a lot of hunting videos, fishing videos out there, but want to also do some very simple, basic videos for the folks that are really interested in getting into archery, hunting and fishing. So we're just going to kind of go over the basics of what I'm holding in my hand here. Nothing fancy. We're not going to draw it back. We're not going to do anything like that. But we just want to do some terminology with you and kind of get you an understanding of what you're looking for. A little bit of background. So I shoot competitively. I do a lot of 3D shoots, and basically my whole life is bow hunting and fishing. So that being said, I've been running a pro shop for the last couple years as a manager here in East Idaho, and just want to go over the basics. So help you not feel so intimidated when you're out in the world looking for your first archery setup, basically. So, this setup right here is made by Hoyt. It's 2021 Hoyt Venom. It's a beautiful bow. You're about $3,000 full setup, rough, give or take. You don't need to spend that much. Don't feel intimidated like you need to. Your first bow honestly does not have to be a $4,000 or $5,000 setup. You can get into a good hunting bow that will get you going, will teach you the basics for well under $600-700, no problem. And that's arrows, release, practice tips, pretty much the whole get-go. Okay, so that being said, all them companies out there make a really good product. It really comes down to preference. When I sell a bow, my main selling point, I guess you could say, is I'm honest. And I tell people, it doesn't matter what I shoot, it doesn't matter what this gentleman shoots or with this gal right here. What matters is what feels comfortable to you. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. Because if it doesn't feel comfortable, you're not going to feel accurate. You're not going to feel confident. And the number one point I'm trying to make, I guess, is that if your bow is fully well-tuned and you practice and practice and practice, nothing is going to beat confidence. If you feel like you can make the shot, you are going to be a better archer every time. Okay? So, basics of the bow. You got your riser, which is the long portion. Okay? That's the main structure of the bow. Okay? That's what holds all the force going through the bow when the arrow's drawn back and things like that. Up here you have your limb pockets. Basically those can keep your limbs in place. Pretty simple, right? As you draw the bow back, the limbs compress, right, by these cables and this string. And these cams is what we call them. This is a dual cam bow. They roll over, and that's where essentially your horsepower comes from on the bow. So as those come back, you get to a point where it kind of comes over and lets off, is what we call it. And then you have a valley, which is that little space where you can kind of hold a little bit less than what you're drawing. Usually in today's models, it's anywhere between 75 and 85%, depending on your stage regulations and things. So when you're going into a bow shop, people feel intimidated. You don't need to. It's everybody in an archery shop, whether they're a seasoned professional or a brand new beginner, they're all really, really cool. They'll all take their shirt off their back to give you a hand and show you tips. So always take it with a grain of salt. Some people learn different ways, some will learn other ways. So our thing here at Full Send Hunting, and that's what we want to encourage you as part of the Full Send Hunting crew, is that do it your way. Your way matters. Learn the basics, learn the simplicity of it, learn how to have fun with your bow, and you'll become a better archer. But do it your way. If you do it your way, you'll be accurate, you'll be confident, and you'll have forgiveness in your shot for when you do make those mistakes in your form and stuff. So, basics on a bow, besides the main portion of the bow, the stabilizer, the grip, the cables, this is what we call a wrist sling right here. Your hand goes in there, and that basically just helps with the relaxation of the front hand so that you can let the bow sit in its most natural position. Ideally, if you can get the bow to sit completely still in its natural form, then you're creating a consistency. And at the end of the day, the more consistent you are, the more your shot is going to be consistent, if that makes sense. Inside here, this is your sight. Okay, you're going to have multiple pins or single pins. There's slider sights. Think of them as high-end scopes for a rifle. Okay, you don't necessarily need that. You just need a couple of pins to get going. Usually most people set them up at 20, 30, 40, or 30, 40, 50, or 20 and 30 if you're running a double pin, or 30 if you're running a single pin, and just adjust for height up and down if you need to. At the back of the string here, we have what we call a peep. Basically, it's like a rear sight on a rifle. Iron sights. You're going to line this up with your front housing, okay? You're going to put your top pin, which is usually your closest distance, so 20 or 30, on your object. And once you're sighted in, you'll be able to just pull the trigger and start working your way towards that bullseye. There's multiple basics when it comes to drawing the bow and things like that, and we'll go over that in the next couple of videos, but we just want to get the basic terminology going for you. So just keep checking in with us on the videos. Give us a little bit of time, but we're going to get them going here more and more, and we'll also get some hunting videos, tutorials, things like that in. We'll get to the point where you can basically take a bow apart all the way down to the frame if you want. That's your rest right here in the front. Your arrow, basically this is the knock on the back of the arrow. That's what attaches to the string. These are called your vanes. The middle one that's off colored is usually your cock vane. Then we got the bare shaft itself, and the end is usually a combination of an insert and a practice tip or a broadhead at some point. And we'll go over all them details as well down the road when we get into arrows like FOC and things like that. So basically, if you got questions, hit us up on the website or whatever. We'll comment. We'll try to get back to you as fast as we can. We're all super busy out there, but we're totally willing to help, and we want everybody to be part of the Full Send crew. So look for more videos down the road, and we'll get you going on the basics. Get you set up and get you shooting out there real well. So thanks, and look forward to seeing you guys down the road.